Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Wild Hearts, and today I want to talk about the most recent trailer. Of course, last week we got a bunch of new stuff from the Game Awards, and we've spoken about so much of that on the channel, and of course one of those things was a brand new Wild Hearts trailer, and today I want to dive into it and just kind of take a look at some of the stuff that they showed off. Of course, we have covered plenty of Wild Hearts on the channel so far. If you guys are somehow new to this and maybe don't know what this is all about, then definitely do check out some of the stuff on the channel. I've had a chance to go hands-on with the game and sort of test out various different builds, and of course share some of those thoughts. But in this new trailer, we're going to look at some more monsters, some more kemono, of course, as they're known. We also get to see some new weapons as well, so let's talk about all of it. If you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Wild Hearts right now. Are you looking forward to it next year? Are you still sort of on the fence? What else do you want to see or do you need to know in order to sort of, convince you want to play it? Either way, let me know. But to begin with, we of course get these rather cool illustrations of the monsters, and of course that then goes straight into gameplay. I really do like that sort of visual effect. I love that sort of Japanese painting style anyway, and truth be told, I would definitely rock some of these as wallpapers. But we of course get a look at DEATHSTALKER. This is probably one of the coolest kimono, one of the coolest sort of monsters we've seen so far. I do really like it. Of course it is an icy wolf, but it has these sort of tendrils attached to its shoulders, almost reminiscent of AMATERASU, of course, albeit instead of flames it has ice, so you could kind of see it like a flamey AMATERASU in that regard, which is kind of cool. But of course we do then get to sort of see it in action. We see one of the hunters entering on the sort of zip line, and then of course the wolf itself seems to be able to jump around between different sort of icy pillars, icy walls. You can kind of sort of see the way that it can construct these and use those to move around the battlefield in a sort of more agile manner. Admittedly, only short scenes here, but still pretty cool. And we do see the hunters here rocking two weapons. One of them I'll touch on a little bit later, but of course that is the greatsword, or this game's equivalent of the greatsword. And then of course we also have the weapon we saw in the previous trailer, which is effectively this morphing weapon. It can take on various different forms. You kind of have the shuriken form, the almost dual blade form. We see the hunter there using it in a staff, and they then get eaten by the monster. Then moving on from there, we have the flaming bird, AMATERASU, also looking incredibly cool. We've seen this one in brief snippets in the trailer when they first sort of showed off the hammer, but I do love sort of some of the moves to this one. I like the fact they're now showing creatures that are definitely seemingly a lot more challenging, because some of the ones we've seen so far, some of the ones we fought, are definitely a lot more grounded, but we now have the, icy wolf. We have this, flaming phoenix, if you will, that is basically just doing a bombing run all the way across the ground, firing this like fiery laser. It does look menacing. Definitely cannot wait to fight that one as well. Following that, we get this sort of saber-toothed tiger kind of character, but it also heavily reminds me of Shara Ishvalda because those sort of tentacles on the sides of it, I like the way they sort of give it additional appendages that it can use to move around, but it also definitely has that sort of Ishvalda vibe. But we also see some more of the other weapons. Again, there is a hunter rocking a greatsword, also this sort of large cannon as well, which fires off these big energy beams, these sort of big like energy projectiles. But the greatsword is definitely a really cool weapon. We still haven't seen it in the trailer in too much detail. I'm hoping later on they do give us a chance to dive into the weapons more. Like, we had a lot of monster focused trailers, a lot of environment focused trailers, but in games like these, weapons are incredibly important. So I really do want like a weapon focused trailer. But the greatsword, I have had a chance to sort of test it out briefly. I can't talk too much about it, but I will say it is a really cool weapon. It does of course have some of the characteristics you would expect of a greatsword, big, powerful charge attacks, but it does also have some great mobility as well. So as and when they do sort of give us a chance to take a look at it in greater detail, I'll touch on that. We also do see some more of the sort of karakuri that we've seen before. We see the sort of ballista one that basically fires down these ropes that will effectively tie down the monsters, so you can see that kind of like a trap. And then outside of that, the monsters sort of jumping around in the environment, they do look really cool. So for the time being, that is pretty much it. That is a look at the new trailer. Admittedly, not a great deal of new stuff shown, but we do sort of get to see some of those monsters in greater detail, and they do look visually very stunning and also a lot more menacing than some of the other ones we fought to date. So honestly, can't wait to fight those myself. But for the time being, that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of all the monsters they've shown so far, which ones are your favorites? And of course, if you missed some of our recent videos, you can check out one of these ones and keep it locked for plenty more.